Hi, my name is Bill Wells, Refugee Ministry Coordinator at ASAP Ministries. ASAP Ministries is an Adventist-run, self-supporting organization that seeks to partner and fulfill the spiritual mission of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. ASAP Ministries empowers local missionaries to restore and disciple the marginalized with the holistic gospel. Our driving motivation is our mission. From marginalized to missionaries, how we seek to work within the 1040 window and with those groups residing in North America. This organization started in the 1990s in Southeast Asia with the need to support both refugees and church planters, seeking to restart the church after the Khmer Rouge. Now, more than 25 years later, ASAP not only works with refugees, but with the poor, persecuted, and unreached groups within the 1040 window. As ASAP's refugee coordinator, I get to see, start, and discuss with individuals all around the world about refugees and refugee projects. You see, 85% of refugees are located in host countries near to their home country. Even though ASAP is based in the United States, most refugees will not have the opportunity to come here. And yet we work closely with numerous Southeast Asian refugee groups in North America as they seek to establish faith communities, adjust to living in a new culture, and witness to their kinfolk here in the U.S. and beyond. Here are a couple ways that I get to see refugee work going on locally and in the community. First, ASAP has a scholarship program dedicated to refugee young people so they can study religion or theology and train to become spiritual leaders for their communities. Over the last 6 years, we've seen more than a dozen students get support with their college education and become engaged directly in mission and witness to their communities and serving others from their refugee groups. In turn, these young people are engaged in reaching out to their peers and others and beyond. For example, ASAP sent 2 young people as missionaries who are from a refugee background and are now serving near to the country and refugee camps that they came from. This is just one exciting example of equipping and sending refugees to serve their kinfolk who are still displaced and suffering. Second, ASAP Ministries developed a training kit in partnership with the Adventist Learning Community where we directly work with local congregations in learning how to reach refugees and migrants that may be living near them. Churches in Houston and elsewhere have not only gone through the training, but are now living out practically a missionary heart by serving local refugees and migrant communities through meeting their needs, aiding in children's education activities, and providing spiritual support to new refugee arrivals. Most recently, ASAP Ministries was contacted by someone who had an acquaintance from Afghanistan. As a result of the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, this man and his family had to flee. We were given a week to locate someone who could help this family resettle in a major urban center in California. God led us to a wonderful Adventist pastor who, with our coaching and financial support, was able to aid the family in finding housing, a job, getting the children enrolled in school, and help them apply for their green cards and other social services that they qualify for. Resettlement is no easy task, even when there is a team of committed people seeking to help. These are some small examples of what is happening on the ground in North America when working with refugees. When considering refugees elsewhere in the world, ASAP Ministries is supporting dozens of Adventist schools for refugees along the Thai-Myanmar border, where young people can not only obtain an education, but also receive a knowledge of Jesus Christ and begin a faith journey with Him. Now more than ever before, we need to be praying for the displaced persons around the world. But more than prayer, in what ways can we personally engage? Adventists globally live in places where more direct interactions with refugees and displaced persons are possible. Opportunities abound in meeting the basic needs of someone along the refugee highway, which is the route one takes from being displaced to finding a permanent home elsewhere or return home when it is safe to do so. Shelter, food, education, medical care, and job skills development all rank at the top of the list for nearly every refugee situation. In addition to that, spiritual care, psychosocial support in recovery from trauma and protection from sexual and gender-based violence is also needed. Refugees are highly prone to being trafficked and thus need communities of believers to surround and protect them from those who would take advantage and cause additional harm to their physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. While it all seems so far away, today in North America, there are resettled refugees scattered across every state, province, and urban center where we can personally and corporately serve. Like serving refugees in a global context, their needs are often very similar. Yet one of the greatest losses for a refugee is a loss of community. Therefore, there's a great need for someone to come alongside and be a friend, support, encourage, and help them transition to a new way of life and recover from the trauma they have experienced. In due time, opportunities for sharing about Jesus can open up naturally as trust is developed through consistency of action and genuine care from a heart of love. So what's keeping you? In what ways can you serve displaced persons or refugees in your community? Because Jesus is coming soon, now more than ever, serving matters.